What up? Zach Bradshaw, long-winded guy, back to talk some charts. It's not a this is another dude stares at charts in sweatshirt video instead of in tank top or in wife beater. Um, it's cold. Um, this video is really about getting your orders right. I don't even know if it's going to be a trading journal video, but it's about how to not fat finger your freaking orders, and a little bit about weak and strong hands as well. So as Bitcoin was doing its thing, um, crashing down off of this 42K high, um, I made some not only poor decisions, but poor execution of moves. So let's see, where was my highest sell in here? So in a couple of videos back, you will have seen that I got some decent sells around the top of this, then kind of rebought a little bit too early. Did not sell out properly, quite high enough with enough of my stack to really load up the ammo down here. And then partially because I'm working on these pages over here, I'm like getting obsessed with some of this trading. I'm having conversations with people about trading, and then I'm ending up, like making these pages out of them. And it's this, among other things, regular work that I have to do, has eaten into my bandwidth for paying attention to charts. And just to be honest, I messed up my alerts and forgot to set them a couple of times, and that led to like me coming and looking at the chart and then making a horrible decision, because I was like, okay. So I ended up down here selling close to the bottom of the range. Not much, right? I wasn't trying to sell that much here. I ended up selling way too much here. This one was supposed to be half of the size of this one. Okay, so I was selling out a little bit higher than these lows here, just to kind of balance out where these sells were and the overall profit on some of these positions that I was buying down here in the 24s or whatever, and lower. Because until I made this mistake, some of the Bitcoin in my account was all the way back from 3K, and various places along the way up. I generally buy a piece at the bottom because this thing is on the way up. I buy a piece at the bottom, try to sell more than 50% of it, and then buy again and sell more than 50% of it and buy again as it goes up over time. It's worked out for me so far. I think it will continue to, because Bitcoin is going to continue to go up. But you have to make sure that you execute these things properly. So making the mistake of not double checking my decimal points here meant that I got all the way out $9 worth of fees, and got out of a position when I felt like it was still going up. I made this little sell. It was supposed to be 10 times smaller. It was supposed to be 5% of what, or I'm sorry, 10% of what it was. And not for whatever reason, but because of where it was and the other things that were going on in my life, I did not get perfect rebuys back into it. And some of it is a little bit poorly done, and not to say panicky, but I would have been a little bit more patient in buying my positions back in if I hadn't gotten all the way out. If I'd only, I would have still been more than 50% in at this point if this would have stayed in. I think right here I was all in, and I think I had like 0.073 and some change Bitcoin. It looks like that's about right based on this. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so that was it. You can do the math yourself. Some of that has gone down because of the fees, right? The fees ate into some of it, but because I really think it was 33 originally. But I sold out more than half my stack when I was actually trying to keep more than half my stack, and then have not gotten the perfect buys after that, right? These wicks down here were chances for me to buy once I lost that. Then I got a double tap on 32.5 that I also missed a buy on. Not totally sure I would have bought this one, but I certainly would have bought this one and maybe would have sold out somewhere in here. Maybe if I would have bought here, I would have held here, because it didn't really fully break down, though it did break. This is lower than this, so I might have gotten stopped out here, but probably I just would have bought a small percentage and would have kept it, on down into 30 with a stop loss around 30, and potentially trying to buy back at 30. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, Tucker, if I haven't explained all this to you yet. Now, since then, this thing has chugged its way up. So I ended up buying in this area. I think all of these buys here were a part of this area. Or maybe one of them was back here, one of them was back here. You see they're different days, and this is not fully accurate to, I wish it told me in hours, past a week, just so that I can see how many hours apart these were a little bit more easily. But that's not the case. Now, in buying back in, I still have most of my cash on the side. Oh, I should probably stop showing my actual bank in here on this, but whatever. Now, I've sold it back out of some of this, right? So I bought back in, right? And you can kind of see how much I've sold, how much I've bought and sold out. So I was up over about like 0.025 in that area. And I've sold back down about 0.01 of it because like I was pretty sure that it was going to pull back off of 38 and 39. So I was selling up here. I thought it could even pull back off of this. So I sold some here because that was a percentage gain, at least $2,000, probably like 6% or something like that, less fees. And then it proceeded to go higher, sold a little bit. I didn't think this was going to stop it. Sold a much larger piece here, right? This is 6 times larger than this piece. And if I had more, I would have sold a little bit more because I was paying attention when it went over 40 and I was like, I don't think it's going to stay up here. And I maybe could have sold another little chunk, but I ain't got enough little chunks left because I accidentally fat fingered an order, which has screwed up my whole position. Now, one of the issues with fat fingering this order is that this 0.02 of this was supposed to be in my paper wallet. I was supposed to get this 0.02 Bitcoin out of my account and in like my saving wallet for like the last 4 weeks. So, I mean, this was supposed to be done. And this is one of those things where it's, well, that's what I get. I was risking too much of my stack by keeping it on the exchange. I should have took, right now about $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and thrown it somewhere. Now that 0.02 that I'm supposed to be saving, not only is it not older Bitcoins, which, it's a little sentimental value for me, but I ain't even got my 0.02 and I'm playing this trade right now. So I don't want to even, this 0.01 or this 0.015 is not eligible to be sent anywhere yet because I may need to make decisions on it, including getting out if something goes lower or getting back in if something goes higher and then selling this at a much higher price point. Now, I'm sitting here looking and waiting for a test back down to 35 or maybe 32, continue to play out this range so that I can go ahead and add more to my position. And then the first thing I'm going to do is take 0.02 of it and throw it into my wallet. But, for example, let's say I got up to 0.025. I went to go throw that 0.002 in my wallet. Then I'm only in this account, only like 10% in because I would still have, most of my account would be in cash, and now I'd only have 0.005 Bitcoin in this account. Maybe I have other Bitcoin that's in savings. I don't even want to look at it. But in terms of my trading account, like, look, we're going up, and I would be less than 5% or 10% in if I did that. So as things stand, once this breaks above 40,000 is when I will be ready to remove some of this now. Right? It should have been in this area. It really should have even been lower than this. But I've, made some mistakes, and this is one of those areas where now the stack is getting a little bit big. I didn't put in $2,000 into this account, and I've traded it to this size, and now it's getting to the point where it hurts a little bit when I lose some of it. Especially, I won't even say lose some of it. I lost potential gains that I could have had if I would have stayed in, and over here, my account total value was like 31K, or I'm sorry, 3,100. When I sold out here, it was below 24. It's like 24.87 or something like that. Now I've traded it back a little bit higher, considering what I'm holding. And I really need to stop showing y'all this, but these videos also go to my little brother. I don't really care if he knows how much money I have. I don't really care if you know how much money I have, but I don't want to get sued by y'all like doing what I'm doing and thinking it's what you should do. You should learn and form your own opinions. But even with those small trades, I've already gained back, almost $100 worth of value since those sellouts and really fat finger. That's what they call it when when you don't check your decimal places and you end up buying or selling more than you meant to. They call it fat fingering the trade, and that's what I've done. And you see here that so if I got rid of, let's just say I got rid of this, right? I have 2,000 bucks that's all in cash as opposed to being exposed to any upside on the Bitcoin. Obviously my savings would be exposed because I'm not even trading it out, and I have some Bitcoin saved that is exposed to the upside, but I want more of it exposed to the upside, especially when I was like, oh, I bought this at 3K. Now I'm not right, it's lost some of its sentimental value in that way. But in terms of actual money management and creating a nest egg to the side, this is actually that savings account is actually like for my sons. I'm never going to touch that money, touch that Bitcoin. But it's, college fund or whatever. This probably won't be college, but start your first business, sons fund. And that's really it for this video. Don't fat finger your trades, but then also don't FOMO your way back into them just because you did something stupid. If I would have done that, then not only would my positions, right, my buys right now are not like that great, right? So like I sold here and then I pretty much bought back at the same position, right? This was certainly hours apart. I bought back in about the same position, and I could have just flooded right back in. It would have felt like, oh, well, I'm basically at the same place, but I ate $9 worth of fees, and it would have been $20 worth of fees because I would again been hit with it twice, and $19 worth of fees for staying in that position. I decided, well, let me just go ahead and eat this $9, see if I can get a lower price. Didn't fully succeed in getting that lower price, or haven't done so yet. If it comes back down here and breaks 32, I probably won't be buying, because if it breaks 32, depending on how it does so, might mean that it's going down, and it's great that I got into cash and was able to play this bounce here and whatever. But double check your work, and maybe this is even not double check your work, double check your trades, especially your market orders. Well, I mean, any of your orders. This is, to me, making a slight case for me to start to do some of these automated things a little bit more, and that's why you see over here on the Coinergy chart, I did actually have a buy order in, and I actually just canceled it a few minutes ago between making these two videos that are coming out today. And this is partially because these things are eating up my life over here, where I just can't help but work on them, and in order to do them well, I have to silence everything, right? My phone is on silent. I'm not letting these alerts go on my computer, and so I could potentially miss trades. I try to glance up at it in these tabs up here, but it doesn't always fully work out. And so if you want to be a professional trader, be a professional trader and don't do other things, and because you can clearly miss your opportunities or make small mistakes just because you are distracted or thinking you can multitask, which is actually, I mean, we think we can do it, but we're horrible at it. Our brains are not built to multitask. And when it comes to trading, there's a lot of waiting. So, Crown, the best trader, he pretty much just streams Twitch and then has his alert set up, and it pings him when he needs to make a decision. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Though I won't be playing video games, I'll be working, but there's issues, especially when I'm doing writing work, where I'm not productive if I'm distracted, and making money in crypto is certainly distracting. So I'll stop rambling on this one. Let me know if you have any questions on this, Tuck or Mama or whoever else I send this video to, or anybody watching on YouTube. Sorry for my horrible videos. Thank you for getting through it, but that's it for this one. See you in the next one. Peace.